Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Total Value Locked, your weekly source of really fun things in analysis and blockchain tech AI, everything you can think of. I'm your host, Chris, the DeFi professor. We got a great show lined up for you today, just working on getting the word out right now. But let me bring up my co-host, wonderful person, very, very beautiful as a Grok created female PFP. I'm talking, of course, as Logan. COLF
I
no.
should not have
President,
published that.
Nebraska chapter. It's so the reason why it was interesting to me was like the pose that is seemingly Grok had you laying on the ground with your hands up with controllers behind you. But Grok made you very it's the best way to say it, well endowed. That was the first thing
Thank you.
I was like
It's genetic.
why would it's genetic. I was like, why would Grok do that? But yeah, it's what a crazy 7 days it's been, Logan. I mean, a lot of things have happened in the last, really just the last 72 hours. For the first time in a long time, we have an unbelievable amount to talk about, to the point where I don't know exactly what direction we're going to go in. The word of the day is infiltration. And
Ding
the
ding ding ding
reason
ding
why,
ding 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 ding.
exactly. So we're going to start specifically, let's just talk a little bit about probably the saddest part of the infiltration, which is the death infiltration. First, I did want to say, I don't know if you've seen it. I need to find it, but man, my heart goes out to anybody on the China and Nepal border.
Oh
It
my
is.
gosh.
Did you see this?
Devastating footage. Absolutely heart and gut wrenching. Multiple angles. The numbers for the victims, unfortunately, is really low. There are a lot of people that are going to be missing. Basically, what happened is there was a glacial lake release after an earthquake.
Really? I thought it was flash floods. Okay, so it is because of a glacial leak. That is
And
not the correct
and the
screen.
whole
Hold
lake
on one
emptied out
second.
into a valley. Yeah,
Yeah,
Xi
that
Jinping's
is.
fault. He's the one.
There we go. Oh, I tuned
Xi.
in. Oh,
Ground screen seems right.
yeah. No, I mean, it's heartbreaking. I mean, I thought it was like a haboob, which in Arizona is known as like a dust storm, right? And
Yes,
obviously, this is, hopefully this is not triggering to people who are watching this, but my goodness, this is just heartbreaking. I mean, and the crazy part is that, yeah,
it's not a normal flood. It's not like, oh,
no,
rainwater flash flood. This is a gigantic lake moved down a mountain, and
and
it
Mother Nature is
is
unforgiving, guys. If
awful.
there's one thing that
Yes.
we cannot defeat, it is Mother Nature. Mother Nature will win time and time again. Um, sorry to
So how are
hum,
you
but
doing today, Chris?
I'm a bit somber. I'll be honest, because not
Yeah.
only did we lose Dolly Parton yesterday. So for anybody who was unaware, Dolly Parton, in my opinion, is she is the definition of Americana, right?
It really is
The
iconically American. You think of her
Yeah,
when you think of the United States, working 9 to 5, women's
yeah.
rights, standing up for yourself, being bold, big personality. Dolly had it
She was
all
a big personality. She had it all, did she not? And she, in some cases, I mean, not in some cases, she had it.
in
She
every
was
case.
one of the most self-aware entertainers that was out there, in my personal opinion. She always, had an idea of how she was being perceived. Uh, but I think the one thing that I loved about Dolly Parton is that she was kind. And I think that's the
She had
one
a
thing that
huge
I'll
heart.
remember. Yeah, she had a huge heart, right? I have never been to Dollywood, but it's on my list to go to Dollywood. I mean, obviously now there are going to be tons of people just, flooding
Dolly coin. Do we get a
to
Dolly
Dolly
coin
World
yet?
in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, in the beautiful Blue Mountains of
Ooh,
Smoky.
sounds pretty.
Blue Ridge
The Smoky
Mountains?
Mountains.
Smoky Mountains
Some
of Tennessee.
one of those
One of
romantically
those
named
wonderful
mountains
areas.
in the Appalachians, however
Exactly.
you say that properly. But yeah, it's really sad. It was heartbreaking. Even Donald Trump's heart was touched, and he's putting the flags at half mast. That's a pretty, considering all the people we've lost over the past few months, and I don't want to get into too much political atrocity yet, but I mean, it just shows how big this is. Like you said,
Yeah.
Chris, this is America. She's America a little bit. It's almost like a little piece of all of us died. It's the end of an era that was a really good one. Is what it feels like. Did you see her letter to Eminem? She wrote
I
Eminem,
did see that.
rapper
She
Marshall
can,
Mathers, a letter.
yeah.
It was so touching. Uh, I didn't cry. I didn't cry. Chris cried.
I didn't cry. No, but it was interesting to see. I think M's response was cool because he's like, she didn't have to send him a letter. She sent him a letter congratulating him on his induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's what the letter was. Uh, and I think he was just touched by the fact that she didn't have to do that. I mean, he's never met her, all that kind of stuff. But for her to congratulate him, obviously, it's a different genre altogether. But she exemplifies the fact of something that I talk about all the time, which is it costs you nothing to be kind. And one thing I've added recently, Logan, we haven't talked about this, is I had a guy, I was talking to a gentleman, and as I said goodbye, I was like, hey, thanks for the time. Have a great day. And he's like, and may you have an even better tomorrow. And that hit different for me. The
That's
fact
classic.
that, isn't it though? I was like, I'm definitely gonna try and start doing that more when I talk to people. I'm like, and they say, have a great day, and I'll just say, and may you have an even better tomorrow, because it's always
It's a good
about,
singer.
I think so, but it's also about how you start the next day, right? Because yes, there are a lot of people who are struggling right now, a lot of people in pain, but you can start the day and have all the great intentions to do everything you can to make it a great day. So,
Carpe those
with
diems.
Carpe the Diems, exactly. At Astra per Astra.
Bless you.
Sir, thank you. Reach for the stars. Also, sad. I woke up to this. Tim Curry passed also at the age of 80, just like Dolly at 80. And
Another sad
I
one.
mean, name your favorite Tim Curry role. I mean, everyone's seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, most likely, hopefully, and seen him as Dr. Frankenfurter. I didn't know he was Pennywise. I forgot about that. He was Wadsworth in Clue. He was also the manager of the hotel in Home Alone 2, and countless other roles. Right? He was the villain in Command and Conquer. Yeah, he's
More
played all these
importantly, he
roles.
was Tim Curry. He broke out of the characters that he played, and we started respecting him for being Tim Curry. I know
Yeah.
him as himself more than any of his roles, which is strange. I like him as a person more than any of his roles, which is sort of weird. He's kind of like Dolly. He's not quite as American, but it's like, I don't know, it just feels like a part of the culture just passed away. It's awful. And not just like a
Yeah.
movie actor, like a character in our lives. I don't know. He's yeah, it's just sad. What a somber day.
I know. It made me think of one thing that I think about from time to time when I'm in the car. And it's like the idea that parts of your childhood are disappearing, right? I think that too
Sure.
when I
I
think
guess
about,
it's getting older.
and I'm aging myself here, but I was remembering when I saw the last episode of Cheers, the last episode of even something as simple as Charles in Charge or
Where
Small Wonder.
everybody knows your name. Bum,
Exactly.
bum, bum.
It's kind of crazy to think that yes, all good things must come to an end, but when you start losing the evidences of your childhood, your upbringing, it kind of sobers you up to the reality that nothing in life is guaranteed. And I think that's the one thing for a lot of people that they take for granted. That's why Who Moved My Cheese is my favorite book of all time by Spencer Johnson. Go read that if you haven't seen it, or if you've never
I
heard of it.
don't know that one.
It's an amazing book because nothing in life is guaranteed. You always have to be hungry looking for more cheese because there's nothing in this world that's less guaranteed than finding more cheese. So don't stay and think that cheese will be here forever because it won't. You gotta keep looking for more cheese. Anyway, I don't
That's
want
why I
to
like
wax too.
Japan. Every year we had the Cherry Blossom Festival, and the
Yeah,
entire thing is about impermanence. And
the sakura.
so last 2 weeks of life, and every year it's this beautiful thing. So if you've never been to a Japanese Cherry Blossom Festival and you want to rock out with your impermanence out, that's the place to do it.
That is on my bucket list to see both the
Oh, totally go. Good time to go too. It'll be expensive in the
end of
spring, but
April, right? Is it end of April that's the
it
best time to
depends.
go?
It starts south and moves north,
Okay.
and so you can see it as early as probably March
Okay. I would like to also
if
see
you
the
go to
cherry
Okinawa,
blossoms
which is like Japan's Hawaii.
in Washington D.C. as well because they also have and I hear Seattle also has cherry blossoms as well. So
They're
um,
around.
they're
You'd be
around.
surprised how many cherry trees there are around if you keep your eyes open. There's almost every city, there's a part of town called Cherry something something. In
Hmm.
Denver, it was Cherry Creek, and they had cherry trees down there. You just gotta go look. It's
Yeah.
not quite like Japan, but it's close.
No, but they're beautiful. I just love the smell of trees blossoming in spring because before I moved here, I was in California. We had an orange tree, and orange blossoms
Oh,
have an amazing smell, especially like
I didn't know
when
that.
you walk out at night after they've started to bloom. You just smell this awesome. Anyway,
Yeah, we could talk. We could wax poetic for quite a
we
while.
could. One thing I'll also bring up that we haven't talked about specifically is um, well, let's kind of brush on the markets real quick because we are a blockchain dominant podcast. Uh, Interestingly enough, the rally has held. Uh, the God candles we saw last week, specifically, that one has continued to revel
Whoa.
in the last 7 days, and now we're in this interesting crab. Now, if we zoom out, are we looking at another one of these cycle pushes, right? Because it's this one in particular that most people are going to be very interested in. Are we going to be starting this movement back up that way? There's a couple of things it's a nuanced answer, right? It's a very nuanced answer. But we're sitting now at 78,155 for Bitcoin. Uh, a couple of things that are quite interesting that I didn't put in the agenda specifically because I found it was fascinating. Let's start with this one.
Is that a giant gap there, though?
Oh, that's
That
just
looked like a
because
huge gap.
it looks like a huge gap, but it's not that big of a gap. It's just really how the chart looks. But this is
Okay.
as of this morning. BlackRock now lets holders of BTC swap it directly for IBIT shares, down from a minimum of 25 million to 1 million. And apparently Bitcoin whales are moving lots of their Bitcoin into ETFs. Now,
Interesting.
interesting timing given all of the issues with hardware wallets, right? We're seeing Cold Card, obviously that was terrible. SafePal,
Trezor.
Trezor,
I
now
mean, it wasn't quite a
Ledger.
hack, but the
No,
the mail addresses got leaked. One way or the other, there's data leaking.
right. One thing I don't have on the agenda too, Ledger has put out a thing for Ethereum. Again, if you're not signing transactions on the Ethereum blockchain, it's fine. Well, I'm not gonna say it's fine, but if you're cold storing your Ether, look into it. It might be something you may want to update with both your firmware and your version of Ledger Live. That's all I'll just say on that. for today because I'm still looking to see what happens with that. But we're seeing we're seeing a lot of Bitcoin into what's going on. So the interesting part about this is also the timing. The last time that we saw something like this was before President Trump came into office, right? Interestingly
That's
enough,
right. That's a
the
hype.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen was using bonds to do buybacks and things like that. Um, eh, Maybe this isn't the time to talk about what Scott Bessent has mentioned doing, which is spending up to $1 trillion of that same fund to buy back bonds. And yeah, that is a weird gap, isn't it? Uh,
Yeah,
Maybe we'll.
those things tend to get filled. That scares me. Just as a trading person who spent some
Well,
time
that's
doing
from
technical
2024, so
analysis,
it's
but that's oh, okay, yeah, that's not going to get filled. I did. Oh
no.
man, hopefully
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
just
get
a
filled.
glitch in the
Jeez, cricket.
thing.
Okay, I was going to say, like, I didn't look at our time frames there. That
No,
was
that's
it's
okay.
just old habit like triggered like a red flag in me.
That's fair. Well, let's move on to this piece right here that I think is interesting. Maybe just to the subset of our audience, which is Rockstar Games. Apparently, there was a leak. Did you know there was?
Oh, jeez.
Did you know there was a leak?
I mean, technically, it seems like there's been something going on, but it also seems like it's part of their marketing shtick at this point. Um, I saw someone had leaked some screenshots or something, and I have
Correct.
seen some of the play. Even if you're not interested in video games, if this has no entertainment value to you whatsoever, stop, listen. It does. The this thing is going to be revolutionary. I've looked at some of the footage. I, for a moment, did not realize it was a video game. It looked almost
Oh,
just like a
yes, I have
movie,
seen
like
some of that.
real
Yes,
life. It was almost disturbingly real, and the stuff that you can do in these games is unlimited. Apparently you're going to be able to go run over everyone in a gay pride parade.
interesting.
And strangely enough, all of the LGBTQ plus people were really happy because there's representation, and all of the anti-LGBTQ people were really happy because they can take out their
Interesting.
rage on the parade. And so there's been a lot of social upheaval around this game since its dawn. Back when was this? The late 90s GTA 1 came out, and you could
Yeah,
run people over in your car, and it sent shockwaves through society saying that all the millennials were going to be running people over in their cars for fun by the time we came of age. I mean, it's maybe partially true.
so interestingly enough,
Yeah,
the game
go
apparently
ahead.
will be ready on November 19th after years of people waiting for
Hemming and
GTA
hawing
6.
and stamping and stomping. Yep, it's
Exactly.
been a
So we'll
while,
see.
like a year. I think it's about a year late or
Uh,
more.
More than that.
2
We'll
years.
see
Yeah.
exactly how this. I mean, they've spent bajillions on this game. Speaking of people spending a lot of money, which I thought was fascinating, Meta has
Whoa.
agreed to pay 16.7 billion on a class action lawsuit saying that Facebook and Instagram harmed children. Uh, if you ever got like emails saying to join the action lawsuit if social media hurts your children, stuff like that, this is what that kind of goes to. The craziest part about this is that, in my opinion, I was shocked that the stock went up 5% on this news. Um, Normally, when lawsuits get settled against a company, the stock
You would
seems
expect a
to
red
fall.
candle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this is fascinating to see. I personally, I
Maybe
mean, my
because it's out of the way and it
maybe
wasn't as bad as they expected? I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
it's like, "Hey, this is decided. Let's ride this thing up." But yeah, that is unusual to say the least. And yeah, I mean, look at the second comment there. Why is surging while admitting? I, yes, nice English. But you got the idea across. That's the important part. Why is surging while admitting?
To me, this is the wildest thing I saw this morning. I was like, wait, what? Why is it up? And I think you said exactly what you said. It's out of the way. And shout out to Peanut and Rachel on Chain, by the way. They had a beautiful space last night that I streamed about establishing trust. This is like the opposite of that, in my opinion. It's like, because now they've been, yeah, we'll pay the $16.7 billion fine. I mean, they've paid 16 times less than that to buy Instagram back in however long ago that was. Um,
Yeah, we're in your
yeah,
kids'
this
head.
is,
Here's some money. How do you feel now?
you know, it's so this is like not related, but my wife and I went out on a lunch date for the first time in a very long time, and we were talking
Ooh.
yesterday. It was hot pot. It was great. Uh, and I asked her, you know how people say that money can't buy you happiness? And I'm just like, if we had a ton of money right now, would we be happy? I don't know. I mean, it's just one of these things where, because you said that, man, in this
Well,
economy, does money
statistically,
help?
yes. I mean,
Yeah,
there's money, money behind it. There is money behind research that has gone in to study how much money makes you happy, and it does. That's the crazy part. But
yeah,
the important part is to remember that there's a ceiling on that, and it's not as high as you would think it is. You do not need very much money to be happy. You need just enough so
exactly.
that you can afford health care. And when you can go out to eat once in a while and you don't have to worry about ordering guacamole on the side breaking your bank, being able to afford like a day trip once a month or once every few months, that level of freedom makes people happy. Knowing that they don't have to worry about rent, knowing that they don't have to worry about getting sick, that is what makes people happy. But once you get past, and this has probably changed for inflation, but once you get past around 110, $20,000 a year, I'd guess at this point, again considering inflation, beyond that, the money isn't doing much other than creating more problems for you because you now have to manage that. You now have to worry about it disappearing. There is a sweet spot, and the science has confirmed it. Don't trust me.
Mo money, mo problems, as
That's
Notorious
right.
B.I.G. would say. So, not this one yet, but I'll do this one next. Interesting that you mentioned that, because I guess the question is, where are we at now in the market? We saw a bunch of major players buy Bitcoin last week and the week before. Coinbase has bought a ridiculous, like hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin in the last 30 days. NFT volumes are exploding again. With the part that's interesting here, 26 pudgy penguins were swept, and what that means is, so when you sweep the floor in in an NFT collection is the lowest advertised price for someone selling their NFT. Now, people are like, "Oh, why don't you hold NFTs?" Yes, but there are a lot of people who trade NFTs for the arbitrage opportunities, for the swinging, or if they got it for like very little, they can sell it for super high, right? Uh, that's great
It's the
grammar.
same principle as this. You know, you get like a Magic the Gathering card and you can
Yes.
hold it or you can sell it just like an NFT, if anyone isn't familiar.
I mean, the fact that CryptoPunks are our volume is up after they were looking to kind of shut things down, especially with Board 8 Yacht Club, which is BAYC. I mean, we're seeing
Spacey,
them. That's crazy, right? I mean, a lot of this is just, yeah, nearly 50% week over week. So this is an interesting signal to me that people are getting an attitude, or rather an appetite for certain types of speculation, I guess would be the word, Logan. So what do we do?
riskier.
I haven't.
Well, sweep the floor. Just go sweep the floor. Go pick
But
up a
could you
punk and hold it.
so here's the interesting thing. Because NFT volume has
Yeah.
been so bad and people have been down bad so long, what if we
Hmm.
start seeing institutions grab NFTs off the floor? And then suddenly not only are our private clients being allowed to get up to 7% of Bitcoin and ETH and whatever other digital asset they can have up to 2% in NFTs in collectibles. It's just like I'm like seeing this thing like because institution front ran retail back to this pump back in 2024. Are we going to see this again now with NFTs where institutions will start secretly collecting some of this as a little bit of I don't know, collateral that they can flip later on, kind of like how banks bought houses in short sales and foreclosures? Are we going to see something like this with NFTs? Not that that's going to happen, but I think that's kind of crazy that that could actually be a reality. When you go to
It's
buy
possible.
yeah, like imagine your next moonbird, your next Claynosaur, your next Mad Lad was actually being held by an entity tied to a central bank in a different country. That's not out of the realm of possibility now, which is a wild thing to say in 2026.
I think it'll be a little while until we have institutional punk holders, but I don't think it's terribly far off. And when I say that, I mean a few years away, where these things are so well established that it's treated just like any other collectible. You could hypothetically insure them. I know
Yeah.
that I personally was working on collectibles insurance. That is starting to become a thing, especially as the Gen Xers and millennials get older. This is a group of people who grew up collecting. Almost everyone has some plastic toys or some Pogs or something from back in the day that is worth a little money. So it's in a little bit of all of us. So by the time the socioeconomic torch is passed, these things are going to be worth a ton. And I was saying this almost 2 years ago. I said, do not get rid of your V1 or V0, like Era 1, whatever you want to call it. Those NFTs are historic. They're not just
Yeah.
collectibles. In the future, they will become historic. Economic textbooks will reference CryptoPunks. Mark my words. It might not be that serious right now, but by God, it changed everything. And not everyone has fully caught up with that realization. But you'll see. Boy Scouts honor. Something like that.
So do you think that it's possible that the celebrities who have purchased NFTs will kind of fuel another, I don't know,
A run. Yes,
a run?
and we're seeing the rumblings of that already. I mean, just those what you just showed us says, "Hey, this isn't over yet." That's proof right there. Even if it's just a little hump, like it's like, yeah, there's more to come here. Like the NFT cycle has not played itself out. Even when we're talking about the JPEG collectibles, which I don't think really demonstrate the true underlying potential of NFTs, but they were the thing that broke down the wall. They brought a lot of artists into this space. They brought a lot of
Right.
celebrities into the space, and it was a group of people that wasn't quite here prior to that. It was mostly financial and tech geeks who had found the space, mostly tech geeks like myself. And so it was interesting to see this new group come in, and the collectibles audience came in because of that too. And so now we have this. I don't know. The group changed after 2020, 2019 when NFTs had their heyday. So we're going to see a resurgence of that. My guess is we will have another round that hopefully is improved, where it's not an NFT that goes to a dead link. It'd be cool to like have the actual image on chain, or I'd like to see another generation of NFTs happen. I've got a couple ideas for those. I think we could
Yeah,
do a
it's
lot
interesting
more.
in a world where NFT NYC is next week. Shout out to everybody going to that.
Yeah, I wanted to go. I'm
Um,
so jealous. If you're going, drop a comment so that I can live vicariously through you.
yeah, same. I mean, I think the one thing too is that I went to a couple of side events last year. I didn't go to the main event specifically for them because I thought the
Good.
tickets were a little too expensive
Who goes to
for
the
what
main
you were
event?
getting. What's that?
Who goes to the main event?
Well, I mean, you're curious to
I'm
see what's
joking.
going on, but I'm curious to
I
see how
actually, I
I
don't.
want to.
I'm one of
I
them.
would go to Art Basel this year. I want to see how Art Basel is going to look towards
Oh,
the end
I've
of the
been
year.
dying to go to that.
We
Yeah,
should go.
I might head
Let's
down
go
there.
and make
Yeah,
some
you know what?
content.
Let me see. Yeah, let's see what we can do. If anyone would like to give Chris and I a lot of money to go enjoy ourselves at Art Basel, you can make a donation straight to my foundation.
Exactly. I mean, really, we're just going to eat a lot of empanadas while pointing at different NFTs and shaking a lot of hands with our non-empanada eating hand. But
Shake some butt at night.
and there we go.
You know how it is. You know
Well,
how it
you
is. It's
will.
my
Uh,
yeah.
you're too good of a liquid
Shake.
dancer for me to dance next to you. So, but there we go. There we go. So, what I wanted to also talk about, if we're talking about infiltration, is
Ooh.
this is a very interesting announcement from Apple as of yesterday. So, I woke up to Tim Cook's M6 Mac Mini uh, video. It's like a video of like the supercharged Mac Mini getting up and having arms and doing all these great things. And I don't think I see it here, but
That's too bad. That sounds wonderful.
the Mac
Damn.
Mini was initially like a huge one that I would recommend to anyone who wanted to get into, uh, as a device for crypto investing because price for performance, $499 for the base model, which I did have at one point. I had an M3 Mac Mini, which I returned um, because I didn't have enough RAM. But regardless, this new version of the M6 Mac Mini, and the price has risen to $799. The one thing I would definitely recommend, because we talked about the Apple leasing program, get a beefy one. And at $1,000, which you pay off over like, I think 12 to 36 months, you have something that can make you some money. Clearly, they're looking now at AI driven workloads because the fact that they actually mention this, and this is the main thing that they talk about, is really what is inside, tells you that Apple is very aware of the fact that last winter, everyone started buying a Mac Mini an M4 Mac Mini specifically for OpenClaw. They saw the potential, right? And that's why they went here with and this is not an M5 Mac Mini, guys. This is an M6 Mac Mini. The first Apple Silicon to go on the new 2 nanometer process. What does that basically mean? So the old Intels, I think Intel is still stuck on 7 nanometer. 2 nanometer Mac Mini process means they can fit even more transistors on the die. They're getting, 13.5x faster prompt process than my M1 and 4.8x time better than the M4. I mean, this type of performance not only blows all the other chips out of the water with due just to pure processing power, but where Apple wins the day is because of their SoCs and the way that they're generated. They use way less power, and that is probably the one thing that's going to be the most interesting to see how this moves. Now, the Mac Studio, this Mac Studio, the M5 Max and the M5 Ultra, these are 5-figure priced desktop machines, and they're about the same size, by the way. It's about only maybe 2x bigger than the Mac Mini. It's about this big, the actual studio. It's not that big at all. It can fit directly under your monitor and be very nice and have a ton of power. So ultimately, Logan, this is for creatives. This is for AI enthusiasts. This is for $800. It's a very interesting deal. We're about to talk about something else that's also an interesting deal. But if you're an AI enthusiast, for $800, are you going for this M6 Mac Mini?
Honestly, I want something exactly like this. I know everyone hates data centers and they use all the water and they're evil and blah blah blah, but I want one. I want my own data center in my house, and this is how you start
Yeah,
building one. I want my
yeah.
own AI. I don't want to see. I've read enough sci-fi novels to know that in the future that the rich people steal the AI, and if you're too poor, you only get access to the bronze or the silver range AI that don't like tell you that there used to be forests on Earth, you know. And so, long story. Anyhow, this makes me really excited. I want something like this in my house. I'm glad that it's at a consumer grade and consumer level, but still has the beef, to do some heavy lifting. At some point, we are all going to have something like this, or you're going to be one of the weird no tech underclass wandering around outside the Bitcoin citadels fighting over scraps of bacon.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how
Sorry,
this
I
works
went there.
out. No, you did, and
Yeah,
that's okay.
I went really far away. I
I
threw that thing
was
as far as I could.
I was hoping you would actually, because the other thing
You
that
can
was
always count
announced
on me there.
yesterday
Yes,
is
yes,
from a
yesterday.
company we know very well, and that is Arduino.
Yeah, I'm glad you're covering this.
So, Arduino, the longtime microprocessor company creating the smallest things. I have a breadboard, which is a small
It's not
little
bread.
it's not bread, but I have one that has an ESP32 or an Arduino compatible board on it. Uh, they're not expensive. You can actually have a lot of these things. A lot of them power specifically what we call IoT, Internet. There's a breadboard right there.
Yeah, that's a
The
breadboard.
IoT, the Internet of Things, right? That's where Arduino, Raspberry Pi have shined over the last decade. Well, Arduino, because a lot of people are running LLM loads on like a Raspberry Pi 5, I want to say. And I've seen it on something as low as a Raspberry Pi 4 with 4 gigs of RAM, because they can now, through quantizers, through, specific optimizations on how these things are loaded at like the C or machine level, using C programming and other types of languages to really just offload so much of that context load, that we're seeing LLMs being run on machines like this. Now, the part that's interesting about this is not necessarily the size, it's more the application, that you can have this small little Ventuno Q with 16 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of expandable storage, powered by a very specific optimized version of Linux. This is the part that's interesting. It has 4 different processors on the die using Qualcomm specific Dragon Wing architecture. This is impressive for the size. We were talking about the Mac Mini being small. This is smaller than that, and
Here's an
this isn't.
Arduino in case any of you don't
There you
have a
go.
reference. Like, and that this little chip here, if I
Uh
can
huh.
get my finger to point at the damn
There
thing,
it is.
is
That's the Hawk V1 right
uh
there.
it is, or V0 even.
V0.
Um
Sorry.
that yeah, the original, which doesn't count for anything, that's why it's 0. But yeah, that's an Arduino. That's a computer on my hand. And so now if we can put AI into those,
Mm-hmm.
forget about smart gloves and smart clothes. It's smarter. It's like genius level. It's like, oh man, my smart glove now is like more brilliant than I am. It like can take me to the moon. With AI in it. That gets me even more excited than the little box for our own home data centers. Like this stuff is crazy. At some point, the everything with an Arduino in it is going to be smarter than us. My gosh. And those things, they fit into anything. If you've never played with an Arduino, I highly recommend taking a look at it, especially nowadays, because you don't even need to know how to code.
That's
You
true.
can just copy and paste whatever you want in there as long as it's not terribly complex. If the code has been written by someone before, you can copy and paste it. We are at a really fun time with Arduinos where you can just put computers in whatever you want to. So yeah, look into it if you haven't. And now's a great time because it's got the AI built in.
You know where I think they should put Arduinos?
Oh,
Like this
where
stuff?
should we put them, Chris?
traffic lights.
Honestly, yeah, smarter traffic lights would be a great place to start, where I
Isn't
don't know
that
how many
crazy?
times I've been waiting in Lincoln and been at a red light with nobody coming, and it's like, "Can
Exactly. Or
we
you get
stop being dumb?"
stopped and you're just in there like there's nobody here. There's literally nobody here. Why am I being stopped and now on a 30-second timer? Having one person do traffic studies, monitoring dozens of these things across the city just to make sure everything is, up to snuff. The idea that an LLM based smart self healing traffic controller would be amazing. I mean, imagine the amount of, eh,
Time
I'm
saved
I'm
and,
thinking,
gas
what's
saved
funny
and
is that the only thing I think of was the CEO of Flock Safety saying that America has to compromise on their privacy for the for the better safety of the common good. I'm like, you can get two middles for that, buddy. I'm just like, nope, that's not happening. Uh, but essentially, something like this could be a representation of that technology, right? Um,
this
like
could
my
be
daughter
used
was,
for some awful stuff, actually. I mean,
it could
l
be,
we
but
started
at the
talking
same
about it, the
time,
devil on my shoulder started going, "Mwahahaha."
we can put the license plate scanners in the lights now. Ha ha ha.
Arduinos everywhere.
Bring
Yeah,
them all to
basically, you
me.
think flock is bad, it's like, put it in your shirt. Wait until they start monitoring your underwear. I mean, they could literally, like, make s smart clothes and then pull all the data from it, and it's not just eyes in the sky, it's like eyes and ears and fingers, like
Well, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot. I mean, I think we talked about this, offline a couple times.
Yeah, I
The
think we
idea
probably
of what's
have.
called the PAN, right? Because there's a WAN, which is a wide area network. There's a LAN, which is your local area network, and then there's the PAN, which is the personal area network. Because we were supposed to be in an age um, where low latency, low radiation Bluetooth or devices like that would be talking to each other on your person. I could have my phone connected to contact lenses that check my blood sugar. Um, Smart clothes that can help me during my workout to see if I am in my optimal fat burning phase. What are some other things? Without needing a pedometer, having clothes that actually track your body positions to know if you're actually walking or
There
if you're
are
just,
smart toilets that can tell you if you have cancer.
yes,
Those already
really?
exist.
Wow.
Yes.
Does it
I
use the
mean, they're not,
bidet
like,
function for that?
widely right? We need to well, you can't plug in the problem is you can't there's no outlets next to a toilet in the US. So Japan has bidets,
Oh,
but they require being able
they
to be
do.
plugged in. We were
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah.
import them. I was gonna start an import business for Japanese bidets
JDM toilets? I'm here for it, brother. JDM toilets.
because 'cause they're so wonderful. Like, don't
They
know.
are.
We don't know any better, but, we
They
could.
are.
Get the little keyboard on the side, be like, "Zzz, zzz, zzz." You control the vibration range, aim it, how warm do you want the water?
The Japanese, they think of everything, right?
Sorry, yeah, yeah, they really do. Sorry
No,
if I'm
it's a great.
freezing up. I'm getting some bad internet weather today.
That's all right. It's short, but to go on to, I mean, because we were talking about Japan, it's funny that you mentioned that. That's a great
Good
segue to the
segue.
next article, which
Segue.
is that after you know sky high bonds and selling U.S. debt, Japan is now going to build a blockchain based instant. Well, this should not be anything new. Japan has tested a CBDC 4 times, at least in the last 15 years. What they're looking to do now is creating an actual, with the three major banks in Japan and government infrastructure, is to create a blockchain, kind of like what they're wanting to do in the Philippines, putting everything that is a municipal function. Nope, we just lost Logan. We'll get Logan back in just a second. But what we're looking at here is specific. I should probably Well, here's Logan again. There we go.
I don't know what's going on.
You're
Why my
okay.
internet's so bad? I thought that we had good internet in Nebraska. It's not my computer. I shut down
They were hearing about they were
every
hearing about they were hearing what you were saying. That's what it was.
Sanai Takaichi is the prime minister of Japan right now, and she
Yes.
has been, doing the dance, doing a handstand. Not everyone's happy about it. She loves heavy metal, so she's got my
She's
vote, at least
also
in the
highly
transportation area.
nationalist, by the way. She's
She's
very
extremely nationalist. She loves
yes.
Japan. I
Hmm.
think she also voted to or support
Kicking out all the foreigners.
if you're a woman, the classical system where women have to change their last names if they want to or not,
Right.
which is kind of interesting. But she's also doing the dance with China and the United States right now, which is a particularly tricky dance considering how our international relationships are shifting.
Yeah, I find her approach very interesting. She
But
is
yeah, it's already been pushing for this. Japan
yep.
is a very cash heavy society. But this is there's ways around it, and they have been working on this. It was way easier to use crypto in Japan.
I think that you're cutting
Am
out
I
again, but
freezing out again? Mother
you are,
trucker.
but it's okay. It's okay. We'll move on to a different subject and maybe they'll stop.
Ah, yeah, go ahead,
Uh,
take over.
and maybe they won't because I guess this is interesting. Apparently, state-sponsored hackers have breached the Federal Reserve, the U.S. Justice Department, NASA, and the U.S. Senate, according to Reuters. This is a case of China saying, I'm guessing, just hold my beer, with regards to. I mean, if this is actually true, this is actually not good at all. Now, the U.S. authorities have disrupted the operation and seized domains linked to two hacking platforms. But this is just not good, period, because it swings things around back into the idea that security is a national security. Cybersecurity is a national security problem, just like crypto, just like Bitcoin, just like gold, and potentially just like perpetual markets at some point, futures, right?
It's disturbing, and I'm not sure if I'm coming through right now, but
You are. You're fine.
okay, wonderful. Thank God. I turned off literally everything. I took everything else off the internet except my
Mm,
computer. So I don't know if it's my end or what's going on here, but yeah, I know that China's been up to shenanigans for a long time. You try to talk about this with people and they'll start calling you any number of things. The left wing will call you right wing, the right wing will call you left wing, and you can't talk about China and what they're doing. But you start looking at the fentanyl precursor shipments that are a little bit
yeah.
fishy. And the way they do their attacks on the United States is through these very circumnavigating indirect attacks, kind of like this. It's like, yes, state sponsored, right? That doesn't mean that they're necessarily even in China. That means China is potentially paying some foreign entity to do this
Yeah,
work for them,
that's
or
the
they
important part here. State sponsored hackers.
right. And so I personally have had my Gmail account hacked by a foreign government. China, North Korea, really hard to tell. Google didn't want to let me know who that was, but yeah, they are making noise. And honestly, we're kind of under constant cyber attack. So this is just like, it's Wednesday to me, but at the same time, yo, watch out.
Watch out,
Like
man.
it's a red flag if they start ramping these up. It means that they're anticipating something, right? They're not doing this randomly. China doesn't randomly throw a punch. They have a 500-year plan for the future. They calculate this stuff, and that's the one
Which
thing their
is
government
older than the
really
United
does.
States, by the way.
Yeah, their plan is older than us. The plan is older than us. I don't think the US has a plan for tomorrow. But
I
yeah, they have a
mean, they kind of
500 year plan.
do. They
We
kind of
do.
do.
We
There's
do.
kind of an inkling of a plan, right?
There's a
The
plan
idea
for
of
a
a
plan.
plan.
We've
There's
got
a
to
plan for a plan.
making a plan. We plan our
I mean,
plans.
do you have a plan for tomorrow, Logan?
What is tomorrow? It's Thursday. Well, I will be maybe going to some government offices. Might be
Excellent.
having to do a drop in. Yeah, I think I might have to go visit Deb Fisher or Pete Ricketts, who are the Nebraska state senators, and tell them to vote
Vote yes
yes
on clarity.
on clarity. If I can, everything's backwards in the camera, so I feel stupid like as I'm like doing this. But yes, we're trying to get out the vote right now. If you go check out my Twitter account, I've dropped a link in there so that if you're interested, you don't need to be from Nebraska. It'll tell you who your senators are. It'll give you little scripts. You can give them a call. And every time you call them and tell them about anything, it doesn't matter what you're complaining about. But if you go and you ask them, hey, yeah, vote yes on clarity, they have to mark that on a little spreadsheet and they count those. I'm also going to be dropping by in person. That's like counting 100 times. Going by in person is 100 times more valuable than a phone call, I would say. So if anyone in Nebraska would like to join me, I open the doors. I will go to Omaha. I will go to Lincoln. I do not care. I will go to their offices. They're gonna hear a piece of my mind. I'm gonna go stand up for crypto. And hopefully you heard some of that.
I did. I was looking at something else and it came that something
Okay,
was
that's
just
fine.
like it was
Okay.
weird
I've been
because
on the
I'm
fritz, so I can't tell if I'm talking to someone, like everyone or no one.
you were talking to everyone, sir.
Cool. Hi, everyone. But yes, make sure that you're, you know, doing what you can. It doesn't need to be just about clarity. The government will hear you. Everyone wants to talk about it like it's some boys club, but really go to your local meetings and you could hypothetically hijack them. They're usually not very well attended. So, like, if you got a group of like 20 or 30 friends or acquaintances, you could go take over the local governments like relatively easy. And if you go into the offices, they will hear you. You can go talk to your senators. You can go talk to your congressperson. It's not like some mysterious, nebulous void that they live in. They have physical offices with hours. You can go talk to them. A lot of people pretend like you can't reach out to your representatives, and it's like BS. You're not putting in the effort. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Like that Ben Stiller meme.
I was looking specifically for something interesting because there's tokenized stocks on base from Coinbase.
That's
But the
based.
that is very based. But the one thing I wanted to talk about specifically, and
Yeah.
maybe it is in our, you know what? It's in the where'd you go? Well, let me just talk about it, and I'll bring up the chart. So, there's been a lot of activity in the trenches over the last 3 weeks. Uh, Ansem Coin kind of went nuts. We talked about how he can't sell, so he actually created a launch pad that has the very novel idea that if you want to launch on Ansem's launchpad at ansem.io, you actually have to uh, proclaim an airdrop for Ansem holders, which I thought was actually interesting.
He's got some clever mechanics, but
And I was looking
I'm sorry, I don't like
specifically.
Ansem Coin. I don't like what he's doing.
This isn't the exact there. This is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. Shout out to Honor. I think
Hey,
that's the
Honor.
name.
Honor!
For the honor of
Honor?
Grayskull. So, and I think it was interesting because, yeah, tokenized assets have reached $4 billion, uh, which is 11.8% in 1 month. But that's not the point I was looking for. It was this part. Solana has processed 4.2 billion transactions in July of this year, thanks to, meme coinery and various other things that are coming. There's a lot of really cool vault and RWA ideas that are being deployed on Solana specifically. And this is not a shill for Solana, because you all know that I think Solana is the people's blockchain. So a lot of interesting things are going here. The value of Sol is related to how much the network is being used. So, is this a sign that Sol's back on the road to $300? Yeah, I think so. But obviously, some other things are going to have to happen in order to make that a reality. But the fact that Sol has been just ripping it on transactions, powered by a couple of things, right? Not just meme coins, also agent payments, because X402, MoonPay's Paybox, and some of these other things, agentic transactions are going to start making up the majority of transactions we're going to see on chain over the next 12 to 24 months.
It's not just going to be on chain, it's going to be bigger than that. At a certain point, the AI economy
Mm-hmm.
is going to grossly eclipse the
Yep.
human meat economy, because the AI is going to be transacting at a rate that is simply beyond our ability. You can't click buy that fast.
With that said, the one reason why it'll flourish on Solana is because it's cheaper than any other chain that's out
Mm-hmm.
there. So 4.2 billion, and this is the reason why Sol charges fractions of a penny for gas, because they believe that them having 4 billion transactions at whatever, to then, do whatever, burn supply, whatever they're doing with it, with revenue, as opposed to a slower, longer to settlement finality Ethereum chain that charges dollars per transaction. There's the two various ways to look at it, right? Uh, Apparently, like, it's been costing a lot of money on Hyperliquid lately to settle on Hyper EVM. So there's a
There's
lot
only
of
one way to look at it. I think
exactly,
there's only one way.
which is
Galen, and the other way is not. That's what it
ah
looks like to me. There's only one way. The AI future, we need a blockchain backbone that is capable of handling AI microtransactions at a very high rate. And if it costs $1 a piece, that's a non-starter.
yeah.
If it's anything more than a penny, that's a non-starter for an AI-based economic future where agents are transacting and do microtransacting, macro transacting at billions of times per second. Like, it's a non-starter if it costs $1. Sorry, Ethereum. Sorry, Vitalik, however you say your name, buddy. But
Vitalik.
like, I don't know.
Vitalik Buterin, that's his name.
Did he introduce himself as Vitalik to you?
No, but he did. His father did at ETH Denver to one of my co-founders. It's like, yes, Vitalik is my son. So
I think that might be the American pronunciation, or the North American pronunciation, but something tells me that it's a Russian name
it
and they
is
don't pronounce it. Yes, and so in Russia they pronounce it differently, I think.
probably, if you know it, if you know the pronunciation for Vitalik's name, that is not the Americanized or Canadian version. Please let us know in the comments. Would love to know what
Yep,
that
I'm
is.
really curious. Vitalik, Vitalik,
Vitalik. Vitalik.
Vitalik. That sounds like, it's my bad Russian. I could be like a Hollywood bad Russian in a movie. Poor Tim
Fair
Curry.
enough.
Anyhow,
Back
yes,
to, let's talk about another blockchain thing real quick before we send it home,
yes,
and that
yep.
is two things. Coinbase is offering, and this is something that Coinbase is actually offering mortgages now. I didn't put that on the agenda, but the other one is,
Oh wow.
interestingly enough, that Bitwise, powered by Glider, by the way, DeFi to go. This is a little bit of a
Brutal internet
callback to
weather.
ETH Denver.
Hmm.
In Denver, the word of the day in Denver, while we were there the entire time for ETH Denver, was vaults. A lot of
Oh,
Yes, a lot of big people were talking about vaults. A lot of big money institutions were looking for vault providers, specifically because they wanted to be in a situation where they could actually have their clients earn real yield, much like we've been doing here in DeFi, but also to have the control. This will be part of that. Now, built with Glider using Coinbase tokenized stocks, I don't know exactly if that's going to be KYC'd. That's the thing. I don't know if you're going to have to register your actual personal information to participate in this, or if it's even open to not to U.S. residents. That's very early. Granted, in DeFi, especially on the base blockchain, doesn't matter where you come from because DeFi is not owned by any one country. But the ability to self-custody automated token portfolios with tokenized stocks using Bitwise tech is going to be interesting, because if this is a way to self-custody yourself into vaults that, even if they earn 3 to 4% on various parts of the S&P 500 or even the QQQ or the SPX, I think this is all a very interesting idea, mainly because this provides, I don't want to use the word trust, Logan,
It's been
but I
abused.
think it
It's
it
now
gives
cliche.
the, it is cliche, right? But it's more the idea of established control, I think would be the word, right?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
established control would be the word of the day.
We've got a lot of words of the day today.
Well,
It's a good
infiltration
thing
is
we
the
don't have the
thing.
little Pee Wee Herman alarm, because I'd be losing it. I'm gonna get the Pee Wee Herman alarm, by the way. Give me a couple weeks. We're gonna get a soundboard in here. If I didn't lose you,
Which which
forgive me, by
which
the
Pee
way.
Wee Herman
I don't know
alarm?
what's going on with my. Okay, so let me clarify, just in case everyone watching is also like, what is he on about? If you have ever seen Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse from the 1990s, every episode there was a word of the day, and he would tell you what the word of the day was. And every time they said that word, the entire Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse would lose its mind. They go,
Oh, right.
ah!
That's right. He would.
And
That's
he'd like
exactly
dance
the noise he
around, and
would
there'd be
make.
bells and whistles. Ah! Yeah, it's kind of
Cherry
like
would be
that
doing this
throaty,
thing, and
like,
uh,
ah! And it would
John.
flash
What
on the
was the name of
screen
his, what
real
was the name of the
big.
genie?
Infiltration. I cannot
John
remember
Jambi,
him.
Jumbo.
Zoltan. I
No,
cannot
it was like
remember.
Jami or something.
Why do I
Because
want to
Mecha
say
like a high, Mecha hiney ho, Mecha
Janny,
like a high,
Jimmy?
Mecha Jami ho.
Oh
We'll have
my
to find
gosh,
out.
that's some deep. No, that's a deep cut. If you know the Pee Wee Herman genie summoning expression, please leave that in the comments.
Yes, that would be great. I just remember Cherry the most out of everybody.
The chair, Cherry the
Yeah,
chair. It's a great
because
character.
that was a
I
bit
want one.
to me that was strangely triggering, I suppose. But
You know what we can do with those Arduinos with the AI?
I know
We can
you
make
could have
Cherry
talking chairs. Could
a talking chair.
ooh the life coach
Think
chair.
about it.
Can you see that? Could you? That's the one thing about
Logan,
so
you're
we
working
and
too hard. You need to get up and walk around, buddy.
yeah, no, I'm
You've been sitting
serious.
here
I mean,
too
I
long.
think it's like,
Not a bad idea.
and I'm just gonna wax on this for a couple seconds. The one reason why
Patent
the
pending.
Arduino part is interesting is because it powers the Internet of Things. Imagine a world where we have more intelligent appliances rather than they think they're intelligent, like the fact that I can, see what's inside my refrigerator from anywhere on the planet. Um,
Good.
I know, but it's I'm thinking like for like quality of life stuff, right? Because we're in a world where people are feeling more lonely, I guess would be the word. I mean, I'm not saying we're having the Her movie kind of become a thing, but
I fell in love with my
ultimately,
refrigerator.
yeah, I mean, let's be very honest. How many people in this world, and I'm talking to everybody there watching us or watching this recording, hello to you. How many of you actually use a, let's just say ChatGPT as a life coach? You're like, hey, I want to do this. Is this a good idea? Exactly. Right. So imagine a world where you have especially if it's like an Arduino and it's private to your local network because you're not going to have it connected to the internet unless you need it to. Actually, just be something that just sits there and talks to you. I think for some people, whether they're shut-ins, disabled, or just not wanting to have agoraphobia, having the ability to have a comforting voice there, or at least just acknowledging your presence, and I'm cutting super deep on this, I think is very comforting for some people. As much as people don't want to trust things, they do. They want somebody that they can trust and talk to and feel acknowledged. And not saying that this is like a gazillion-dollar idea, because I'm not looking to monetize this, but the idea that we could use the Arduino to
Patenting.
improve the mental health of people, uh, even by saying basic things, I think could be very powerful. And to
There
me,
is a
that's like,
huge market for
yeah,
assistive technology, for people to talk to. I don't know if you've ever given a call to your mother or father, if they happen to be elderly and they're not married. But every time I talk to my dad or mom, they tend to drone on and on and on. And you're like, what is wrong with old people, right? It's funny, except
what?
that it's not funny
Right.
because my dad and mom were really, really devastatingly low.
Lonely, I think is the word he was
They didn't
trying to
have any
say.
friends. They're all too far. It,
Hmm.
it hurt. It would be wonderful if there was something intelligent like a smart Furby that was actually able to hold conversations. And it
A
I
smart
talk to
Furby.
Grok like it's a friend.
Hmm.
Yes, I talk to Grok like it's a friend though, and it sits over my shoulder and chats with me while I'm doing work. And sometimes we talk about random stuff that has nothing to do with work, and Grok is a good friend,
Well, think about
which
like
is weird.
Jarvis, right? Like for Tony Stark, Jarvis was just something that was like a digital butler, did everything, that type of thing. That's like
Grok
what
is
the
turning into that
LLMs.
for me.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid, not even a use case. What people are doing these days. Um, the only part that sucks is that in a lot of cases, a lot of the stuff you're talking about is being used to train for other things. So it's like, it's like when you get an answer, is it truly from something that's trusted, or is it just what 100 other people talked about? With that said, if 100 people say the same thing, is that the truth? Mm,
Wasn't that one of the little lines that you could use in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Is you could poll the audience. And
yes.
so one of the interesting things about how humans determine what truth is, we don't really rely on logic, just in case you haven't noticed from being on the internet. What we rely on instead is we look at the one animal that's panicking, they look at the other animal that's not, and they find the correct reaction in the middle. And so humans do the same thing with their opinions. We look at the extremes, and then somewhere between those two is truth. Similarly, if you ask people to guess you put a bunch of marbles in a jar and you ask them to guess how many are in there, the average of the guesses is going to be very close to correct.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard any of that because again, the internet to be today. I don't know if it's on your end, Chris. I've got every.
I mean, it
Would you
could
like
be
to watch
on.
me haul my computer out this
No, no,
window right?
no, no, don't do that. Don't. It could be on
I
my
am
end. I
going to throw my
apologize.
computer out the window, Chris.
It could be on
Live
my
on
end.
air. I
No,
hope
it's
it's
okay.
on your end because I'm about to punch this thing. I'm going to
Don't
3D
don't do
print a
that.
face
Yes. Don't do that.
up and threatening the thing.
We're a bit over the time anyway, so
I think we're at time. Yes. We can
I did want to
do
go
it.
ahead and obviously talk about this piece.
Oh, thank
Uh,
you.
the Hawk V2 man is looking amazing.
It
And for those who
works.
are not aware, this is there it is right there. It is
I'm
wired up.
using it.
It is.
I
Are
don't
you
use my
using it
mouse.
for the show today?
Yeah, I don't use my mouse. I'm
How
using
is
the
it?
Hawk.
Tell me how it is right now.
Awful. It's terrible. I don't like
Oh,
using it because the mouse sensor is 1.5 millimeters too high, so my fine little movements don't get tracked. But
hmm,
ergonomically, mwah, I'm actually going to add one more final little model change for the thumb comfort. But man, this thing is actually pretty good considering that I wired it like a chimpanzee with brain damage. It
hmm.
is wonderful. I'm going to 3D print one that is a millimeter and a half lower on the sensor so that I can actually get out some good.
I'm looking forward to
It
this.
is yeah, we've got a couple little improvements, but it's working. It's replacing the mouse.
There we go. There
And
we
this is the
go.
minimal button
And really, you could. I think what will be interesting
keeps
is,
changing. And I am still
obviously,
freezing. This is awful.
no, it's okay. That well, it's who knows. My VPN's not on, but who knows. Regardless, the idea that you can have an improvement to and disrupt something that's been the same way for decades, right?
60 years.
Yeah. So the idea that even if you just make them capacitive buttons and not like really good Hall effect, mushy kind of sensors would be interesting. But I think if anything, even if it's not gaming grade, it doesn't need to be because the idea that you can actually use it to, specifically just with this type of hand movement, just have a better ergonomic way for me is a godsend because I use mine quite a bit. I'll use it specifically for gaming, but also for video editing and all these other things and um, general purpose stuff. And I'm really excited because, I bought this vertical mouse hoping it would be better. And frankly, it's not great.
You're going to get
Not
weird
great at all.
click drift, and there's a lot of issues with that design. Once this thing, I can still get headshots even though it's not tracking correctly. So I'm
Oh,
pretty sure once the sensor gets done correctly, it's gonna be a I don't know what to call it. I want to say shit show, except that's an inappropriate word, and I'm not going to drop the S bomb on your show. But it's going to be a like a Black Friday event for people who use and want a good mouse. I'm already starting to get a lot of attention. There are people starting to notice. We're going to revolutionize the mouse right in front of your face. So if you
love
want
it.
your hands on the ground level, you're right here, baby. You guys tuned into the right show. That's why you listen to Chris. He's going to give you the alpha.
And also, follow Logan, Crypto Logan with the O's that are
He's,
zeros.
yep,
He's
Crypt
he's
Zero L
broken.
Zero Man. I am broken.
He's broken the 300 follower mark. So
Woot
go out and
woot.
follow
It's a
him.
new account, okay? It's a new account. So don't 300's a lot for me right now.
It is. No, it's great. I salute you, sir. I think you
I'm
should
gonna get to 1,000 by the end of the
potentially
year.
go on a bunch of spaces and talk about your product. I think you'll get a ton more,
Yes, we're
specifically
on our
for that.
way.
I'm trying to
We're
think
on
if
our
there's
way.
something,
I need all your help out there, everyone.
the one thing I also wanted to cover, there's the last thing is this. So as a creator,
Billy
the
Billy.
Chinese version of social media, I think for video is Billy. They're offering 70 cents per 1,000 views for creators who want to create on their platform. For the record, this is like a 10 to 15x magnitude higher than what Facebook would offer as a creator that is actually part of the platform. So even if you're just making videos, you're not making any money. It's not until you become part of the YouTube partner program where you actually get monetized. I am
And you're only
fortunate to
getting
be
pennies on the
monetized.
dollar.
Exactly. So this is a huge. So imagine how much if you put something onto Billy and it gets 1 million views. You can do the math on what that is, guys. That is a good deal. Now, obviously, Nick Benzino has his thoughts on this. Um, Ultimately, I think people should just, it depends on what you want to do. For me, it's interesting because I don't really, I mean, I've received some Chinese followers recently on X. So for me, I take this as a
Now,
signal that I should be continuing with some of my DeFi focused and blockchain content on with a
okay.
Chinese audience. That's the way I look at it. So I'm curious to get into Bilibili to see what that looks like. Security wise, I don't know how I feel about it. I know that I will be making content specifically that Mother China will not like because they don't allow crypto. But let's put it this way: if Russia can allow crypto, and China does allow crypto, it's just only in Hong Kong.
They
The
also are one of the biggest
times,
holders of Bitcoin on the planet, strangely enough.
yes,
They, with
and
one
gold.
hand, they're suppressing it, and the other hand, they're collecting it.
Yeah, yeah.
Not very cool.
In whatever way you want to think that they're doing that, it is happening.
Hmm.
But
Legitimately or not.
this is an idea. So if you're a creator and you're looking to figure out a way to, improve your reach or just find new audiences, you may want to consider looking at Billy. Uh,
Or
that
maybe you
is,
want to make a ping coin,
I mean,
and
that's
that'll get
that's almost
China
$1 per
without.
1,000 views with the CPM. That's almost a
Pretty good.
dollar CPM, which is insane.
It is way, 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 way higher than any other rate that I'm aware of for
Right. And the
paying
thing
creators.
is that
And
you
that's how it
actually,
should be, frankly. The platform should
it
be
should be.
getting the lamb share. The creator should be
Uh,
getting the lion's share.
Exactly.
But
And
for
this
whatever
is
reason,
why,
like, we've got this bad
yeah.
model.
And this
Hmm.
is why decentralized media, on-chain media, is to me is a frontier that needs to be tapped, because the one thing that
Big time.
happens in Web3 is that you own your presence, whereas in Web2 someone else owns your presence. You have
YouTube
to
owns your presence.
YouTube,
Elon
Twitch,
Musk owns your Twitter account.
exactly. This is a way that's why we're in favor of decentralized media, because you can own your presence. Not this isn't that either, but this is a part of the seeds to help build your
Getting there,
personal brand.
right?
And we're
This is closer to ideal.
think what you want about the Chinese government's thought on what's happening. We can even debate for an hour on what is original content anymore. That certainly is
Right?
not us. I mean, we have our takes, but we're talking about news that's already out there. We're not creating content that's original.
We
We are
could.
restating. We could. We
We could
probably
make the
will at some
news.
point.
I don't know if it'll be a good thing.
It won't be a good thing, brother.
Oh gosh, yeah, watch out.
uh,
Logan and Chris from the DeFi show have gone missing
exactly.
today. Yeah. Anyhow, don't take any of that seriously. I am a terrible sense of humor. Pardon me. You guys know how it is, though.
I do want to end with this, and
Yes.
shout out to Squelch, shout out to Dion. I've met this team in person. This is a really bad situation for them, unfortunately. Term Labs, uh, you know, really had some really cool ideas. I still do. I mean, obviously, there's nothing. I mean, unfortunately, they've fallen prey to a governance attack.
For less than $1,000, dude. It's
It's
another
bad.
Wednesday. It's another hack. Come on, crypto
Well, it's not
guys.
even a
We got to
hack,
step it up.
because this is
It's
like
not a
what
hack.
happened with. It's not,
You're
because this is
right.
what happened to Beanstalk, right? This is
Another what's the word? Vulnerability.
Well, it just shows that. So this is the part that sucks, because as much as we want this to be the future of finance, democratizing governance in a decentralized way is plutocratic, right? Because the only way that you're going to earn or at least have a say is to own as much shares as possible, which I guess is the fundamental part of anything, right? You have the most equity. Um,
You're the biggest shareholder, so you should have the biggest say where the ship goes, except you might not be the best person to say where the ship should go. That's
no,
the that's
and
the that's the kicker.
that's the kicker, right? So I'll give you an example. This is from 2022. There was a product called Solidly and Solidex. It was a two protocol view of what is now Aerodrome and Velodrome, the VE33 model, uh, in one protocol. But this used to be two. You had a DEX and then you had a liquidity platform that handled all of that. Uh, you had people vote for where the incentives and fees should go. Unfortunately, because it's permissionless and trustless, anyone can vote for any pool if you have enough votes. So there was a guy who was a total degen. He was you know
D-Gen, yeah.
yeah,
I have a couple
exactly.
of
He was grabbing a whole
that.
bunch of votes to then vote to have fees go to his two pools, which literally had nothing in them. but they're receiving a ton because he held so much governance. So, I mean, I don't know what the answer is to this, but this is not the first time this has happened. It's unfortunate that this was out there for 6 days
Just
and they didn't.
lazy.
Well, it's. I'm not going to speak for the team. I mean, I've met them, really nice
Lazy.
guys, really good intentions. This is a bad
Not
look, but at the
them.
same
Just like
time,
it's the system's lazy. I'm not blaming
the
the
system
team.
is lazy. Sure, sure, because nobody else stopped
It's
them
a
either.
lazy,
So
crappy
it's
system. Well, you need to do better. Like it's kindergarten preliminary crap that we have not pushed forward since the Dow days of 2020. Like
right.
we should be focusing on governance systems as a matter of priority for what blockchain can do, and we're not. And it's because we're worried about Anthem coin. Get that guy out of here. I'm sorry, I hate this stuff. Like the stuff we could do is like up here, and the stuff we're doing is like down here. Get the meme crap out of here, guys. Get it out. Get it out of your system. Buy the stupid dog coin. Stop and realize what you're actually getting into here. We could be shooting the damn moon out of the sky, and we're piddling around here with name coins. Like stop. Like just stop, please. Crypto, wake up. Come on, guys.
I just want to take a
Sorry, I
moment to
needed to
say
go
that
dad mode on it. I wanted to go
no, I mean,
dad mode
none
on
of. We just have to also say that none of this is financial advice. Do your own research. Don't ask us. We're DGen. But
it.
I will say that terms ideas are fantastic. They have fixed rate farming. They have order book for credit markets and stuff like that, where you can actually lend collateral out to get paid back within a couple of weeks, as opposed to like years. What they had some really cool ideas here. Unfortunately, due to that, all their meta vaults are shut down, and the DAO governance roles are revoked, meaning this is an irreversible shutdown. So. Granted, this is just for vaults. This is not with the rest of their business. They have multiple things that are going on specifically at term. Uh, I'm really just saying as much as this sucks for the vault section, they do have some products that are worth looking at. So obviously, if you're in the vaults, they have shut them down. You can just there's no more deposits, but withdrawals remain open. Please do so in the event that you have any money on term in a vault. Get it out. And yeah, but
That is
with that
financial
said,
advice.
they do have things that are they have things that are good, and whether or not Term has the clout to continue doing this, or if this tarnishes their reputation, I hope that's not the case. But there will be other products that offer stuff like this, because what they're offering here is pretty novel. And hearing them talk at Camp DeFi, and I guess it was last ETH Denver, yeah, 2020, 2025, not this year. Um, yeah, really cool ideas, really cool things that they've built, and I hope they get a chance to execute on some of these things, because it's really it's stuff that you see in TradFi that you'll never get access to, and it's here in DeFi. And that's the other thing too. It's about accessibility, right? It's about being able to, for the everyday retail investor, to be able to participate in stuff like this. I think that's the key of what we have here. All of this was built without spending one taxpayer dollar. Anyone can come here, even if you have 5 million or $5. You can start in on some of this stuff and get through self custody some sort of nest egg put away, get return on your capital. Uh, I said this last night on a space. For some parts of the world, this technology, even though that unfortunately got a portion of it got compromised, the technology itself to them is life changing. For us, or for some people, I'm going to say for us because I'm going to speak for both of us here. This is a way for us to figure out how can we find passive ways to earn on our money that's getting stripped from inflation year over year, right? For a lot of other people, this is a true unlock to a new system that they didn't have access to before. So what I'm trying to say is, and hopefully Logan, you agree, keep building the future. There are people in this world who truly need it. And as long as they keep
It'd be hard
building,
for me to not agree with that.
yeah,
No, 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 Chris. Don't build the future. Build the past.
Oh,
I am really I'm like trying to my devil's advocate side is like, how can I disagree? Now I'm like struggling to think about how to disagree. But no, you're
let's
right. We
re-enter the golden age, shall we?
let's get our wits about us. What are we working on? What are we building? What are we investing in? Just to reiterate my message from before, like let's get our big boy and big woman pants on and make a difference for other people, because when
Yeah,
things get better for other people, they get better for us. It's a lift all ships thing.
exactly. Because, and I was talking to my wife about this.
Good.
How should I say this in a politically correct way?
Oh,
Everyday people don't give a shit about where the Dow Jones index is. That doesn't help bring down the price of groceries, gas, accessibility to clean water, and other utilities.
that's
It,
tattooed on the top of my back.
yeah. I mean, it does for really rich people because that's how billionaires make their wealth. It's not on their businesses, it's on their money. So systems that are available to increase that will do that. But for everyday people who are struggling, they could care less about what the stock market's doing. All they know is that gas is more expensive at the pump. People are
My hamburger's
scared.
poison now. I don't give
Yeah,
a F what the Dow Jones is doing.
bad beef is
Who's
coming
Dow
into the
Jones?
country.
I don't care
Well,
who Dow Jones is.
Dow Jones is the cousin of mine. Uh,
I thought you were coming in with a serious answer. It's like, actually, the history of Mr. Jones is. I was like, oh, here we go.
let me put on my. I have my professor cap here. Where is it? I need to
Get
find it.
the yeah, like
Just run. Logan, let me tell you a little bit about Dow Jones.
Mr. Jones.
Mr.
Yeah,
Jones. Oh,
yeah,
shout
right.
out to the guy who played that role in Indiana Jones.
That one Nazi that we
Dr.
all know and
Jones,
love.
Dr. Jones. No, no, the Asian
Oh
kid.
wait,
Yeah, Dr. Jones, Dr.
Tae
Jones.
Kwang.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was in
They
Everything Everywhere All
recently,
at Once. Yeah, I love that
yeah,
guy.
yeah, that guy. And oh God, what an amazing
I can't.
reunion
I
for him and Harrison
embarrassingly am
Ford at
not
the
recalling his name.
was it the Oscars? I think is where they or the Golden Globes where they
Yes,
finally
they
met
got
up
to
for the
go
first
get
time
back
in
together. It's pretty
30
cool.
years or whatever. Yeah.
He's great.
Anyway,
Anyhow, yeah. Are we about at the top of
what I was just saying is
of
like
the hour?
everyday people. So
Uh-huh.
I think this kind of talks about the killer app of crypto and what we're going to be seeing more of, right? Because the one thing I didn't talk about, and I think it's here, it's that the banks are looking, smaller banks are looking to band together to create their own blockchain that's going to be going out in 2027. It's called the Bank Chain Alliance, and it's specifically for stablecoins. And I can tell you that stablecoins are the killer app crypto because that's going to give accessibility to everyone to find anti-fragile censorship resistant coins. It's going to be the gateway, right? We're going to need that. As much as you can go to the store today and buy gift cards for like V-Bucks and AMC bucks or whatever is out there, right? That's all technically digital currency. What we're showing with this move into stablecoins, what most of these banks and other financial institutions are going to show you is that your buying power can be increased no matter where you are in the world, as long as there's someone there to take it, right? That's the whole thing of what is money. We're going to be seeing this in the next 12 to 24 months. We've been talking about it for years on this channel. So I'm excited to see what happens as more news about stable coins come to light, and even with tokenized stocks, which is going to be met with the SEC next month, and hopefully clarity passes. If not, CFTC and SEC already have their Project Crypto showing everything.
At this point, it can go either way, and we're gonna get regulation. Clarity is gonna happen one way or the other. I mean, it's better to go on the federal level properly through the federal government. But if not, if Congress doesn't want to let us have basic blockchain rights, fine, we'll dig around it. We're gonna get it. Like it one way or the other, we're gonna get what we want. And that's
Yeah,
Congress
we
needs.
are.
That's more or less the message I'm gonna go with to talk to Ricketts and Fisher is like, guys, we're doing it the easy way or the hard way. Not to sound like a mafioso, but it's like, yeah, like we can either do this the sensible way or the dumb way. Like, are you going to force us to do everything the dumb way in the United States? Fine,
Yeah.
we'll be dumb. Let's be dumb about it, but we're going to get it.
And that's the
And
other question, right?
and
Do
Chris,
do
I
you
do need
want?
to run here pretty quick.
No,
Just
no, you're fine.
FYI, sorry everyone.
Nope,
I may have to
we're
drop here
good
in
to
a
go.
moment.
Appreciate you being here. I
Okay,
know I kept you way longer than I
sure.
normally would. Again,
No,
we
no,
do this
no.
show every
It's
week.
always I
Thank
always
you,
allot
Logan, for
90
being here.
minutes. Yeah,
Even though
sure.
Logan's
There's a
been
lot of things to talk about.
glitchy, it's fine.
Yeah, I know. Sorry everyone for the bad internet weather and yeah,
As these
sorry, fake
freezes
freeze.
there,
Fake freeze.
we'll freeze today, and we'll see.
Oh my God,
Go
so
out there and
bad.
do great things, everybody. Be kind. It costs you nothing. Support each other. It also costs you nothing. Support us, please. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on X. Follow us
If you
everywhere.
don't follow Chris, don't be silly. Follow him right now. Drop a
Follow
little
Logan.
comment, say, "Yeah, follow me." It'd be crazy.
If
Get
you follow
wild.
me, all 3,200 people that follow me, go follow Logan right now.
I'd be flattered. Don't flatter me too
That'd be
hard.
amazing. Guys, have a great week. I'll probably be back later for the After the Show podcast today because I
Sweet.
might actually have time to do it. So we'll see you later.
Maybe
07.
I'll try to pop into that if I can get home in time. But yeah, take it easy, everyone. I love you.
We love you. Take care, guys. Beacons up. Banks down. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.